That's what this episode is about. Four questions you can ask your own restaurant's numbers this week. Ask even one of them tonight, and you walk away with an actual decision, not just another report you don't have time to read. I'm Pam Monteith, founder of Great Work Online. This is Great Work for Restaurants, the weekly podcast for independent restaurant owners who want to get more from the system they're already paying for. A few years ago, long before I ever worked with a restaurant, I was staring at a marketing report for a client in a completely different industry. Rows of numbers, traffic, conversion, and I remember thinking, I know what happened, but I have no idea what to do next. That gap stuck with me because it wasn't a data problem. There was plenty of data, it was a translation problem. Nobody had taught me how to turn here's what happened into here's what to try. 17 years later, across a lot of industries that had nothing to do with restaurants, I watched that same gap show up every data lives. And right now, it shows up especially hard for restaurant owners. So here is why. You have more data available to you today than any restaurant owner in history. POS reports, guest reviews, social engagement, loyalty numbers, and you have less time than ever to sit down and turn any of it into a decision. That is not a discipline problem. You didn't skip reading the report because you don't care. You skipped it because you closed the 14-hour shift and had nothing left over to translate a spreadsheet into a next step. So the data piles up, not because it's useless, because nobody built you a shortcut from the number to the decision. Here's the shortcut, and it's simpler than most people expect. Instead of opening a report and hunting for the number that matters, you ask a direct question. Not pull up last month's numbers and let me find it myself. Just ask, try this one. One of my midweek shifts is consistently slower. Try this one. One of my midweek shifts is consistently slower than the rest of my week. Suggest three ways I could test whether that is a marketing gap I can fix or a demand gap I need to plan around. That single question does something a report never will. It splits two problems that get treated as one. Or try this. Here is my guest repeat visit rate for the last 90 days. Help me figure out what a 5-point improvement would actually be worth in monthly revenue. Now, a number that felt abstract has a dollar figure attached to it. That is the difference between information and a decision. And here's the one I would start with if you only try one thing this week. Before you reach for a discount to fill a slow night, try asking this instead. Instead of a discount, suggest three promotion ideas that add value or create urgency without lowering my price using what I already have available. Or if you want the sharper version, suggest three promotion structures that reward showing up, like limited availability, an exclusive item, or bonus loyalty points, instead of cutting my price, and help me think through which one protects my margin best. Because a discount trains guests to wait for the next one. The moment you stop offering it, some of the traffic lives with it. This is the exact kind of question I run through Accountific with restaurant owners, whether that is our partnership or your own bookkeeping setup. Every marketing decision filtered through what it actually protects, not just what it fills. Here's where Toast fits into this. If you're already on Toast POS, you don't need a separate tool to run these questions against your own numbers. Toast IQ is built to answer exactly this kind of plain English question using your restaurant's actual sales, labor, menu, and guest data. Toast's own data from the first quarter of this year showed 47% of everything owners asked it was about sales, and revenue alone. Guest and marketing questions made up 32% of everything asked. The tool was already sitting there. Most owners just hadn't asked it anything yet. So here's what I'll leave you with instead of a recap. Pick one number in your restaurant that's been bothering you, and instead of staring at it, ask it a question. If you want a place to start, the free Toast Marketing Activation Checklist is linked in the show notes, but the checklist is optional. The question is not. I'm Pam Monteith. Keep doing great work for your restaurant, and I'll see you next Tuesday.